I'm excited about this show, Gerard. You just don't know. I'm so glad you got it going. And people, I'm going to tell every single person I know about it. So your show is going to be one of the hottest show in the whole state of Louisiana.
Do your homework, you do your investigation. Like I said, with you, it's a balance. Like I said, you made us cry, you made us get out and fight, you made us get out and march. You know, you made us laugh. And that's what we need. We need total balance in all things. And like I said, I wish you the best day. I'm so excited about you going back on the I tell you because I really missed you. I really have. You're such a blessing to our community and keeping us informed of all the things that are going on in our community. And I appreciate you so much, G. And I just had to call you this morning. I'm going to be right there, and I'm going to tell everybody about your show, the new show. That's why we're looking for new things, and I know it's coming.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero, always delivering the best food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's a reason why people keep returning to Wags. The food's always hot, great portions, and it's just down home good. Call ahead to order in advance at 504-348-3080. That's 504-348-3080. And let Larry know that you heard about Wags on the New Orleans Talk Network. Call him now. Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
You are now listening to New Orleans Talk Network, and this is Young Voices of the Future. I'm your host, Brandon Caples. Thank you for tuning in. Please give us a call at 504-341-8255. That's 504-341-8255. Be sure to check us out on YouTube at New Orleans Talk Network. We are streaming live on YouTube right now, so check us out. So today we're going to talk about, of course, community engagement and youth policy and things like that, but also we got more urban news and most likely. So I'm going to just jump right into it. I'm in the studio by myself today, so bear with me. So we're going to continue the conversation about suspension rates up in Louisiana, in particular in Louisiana, without standardized policy for out-of-school suspensions. Many schools in New Orleans, all charter recovery school districts, have been suspending kids at an astronomical rate. This past decade, it's filled with stories that are students that have been suspended indefinitely or for 20 to 30 days. And students are being kicked out of school for infractions such as wrong color belt or socks, arriving to school a few minutes late, or wearing facial expressions deemed subjectively as willful disobedience. But here's the problem. The problem with out-of-school suspensions is being used too often and at a disproportionate rate for students of color, and with special needs, and also students with special needs. It's not isolated to RSD. It is isolated to charter schools or New Orleans schools, period. It is a growing problem nationwide with publicly alarming numbers, especially in Louisiana. So basically, what is happening is that we are continuing to push our students out at a large astronomical rate. And when I mean our children, I mean youth of color. We're getting pushed out at an astronomical rate, and suspended. Some students are getting infractions for 20 to 30 days, which also means that here they have two things that's going on, and this is the problem with it. Students are being suspended way too often. Also, you have students, if they're not in school, they're not learning. And also, if they're not learning, they are on the streets of a high crime city, fighting crime, drug dealers living at risk neighborhoods. So you have all that going on and all this temptation around you, and eventually these children end up in prison. So according to a recent study, Louisiana school children are suspended at rate 130% higher than the national average, meaning that we have a serious problem using suspension as an infraction. So some districts are higher, have the highest rates, but mostly in urban, but mostly what it affects us in the New Orleans area and urban parts of the city in the greater New Orleans. Um, it's very obvious what's happening. Unsupervised kids are on the street struggling with high crime rates most often than anything. But these are just not kids. These are older kids. These are teenagers that are being put out into the street, um, being unsupervised and basically being left to say, okay, because I rode a the wrong color belt to school, I'm getting suspended for 2 3 days or however. And then as the suspensions build up, after a while they get expelled, and after the child get expelled, you get kept back. So you have a lot of things that's going on because one thing. So, um, eventually, what happens is um, they have two bills that has been announced, introduced in us Louisiana state legislators to help students develop better discipline policies and reduce out-of-school suspensions as punishments. Research shows that ineffective and for improving behaviors is detrimental academically and contributes to the and diminish the school of prison pipeline. Now, it's important about this. I talk about the school to prison pipeline mostly every week that I'm on this show because school to prison pipeline is just is what it sounds like. Is that we funneling our children out of school and into the prison system, and this is what suspension. But by us having a suspension rate that's 130% higher than the national rate, obviously we have more kids out of school that are in school, and because our teachers, our administrators have so much leeway with things, we are in a tricky position because it's like, well, how are those students either the ones who don't get expelled, how are they passing? Because if you're out of school 20 to 30 days a month or 20 30 days out of a year at a given time, you're missing a lot of coursework. So how in the world are you able to pass your schoolwork? Now, unless the teachers are sending schoolwork home with the student, but being somebody that been suspended before, I don't remember getting schoolwork sent home with me. So um, it's just issue. But a 2014 study shows that a total of 62,000 school days of school missed by students in Louisiana equates to 3.72 million spent on students not being present in class, thus far not receiving instructions for which the funds were intended. Um, Last week, the Louisiana House Education Committee considered HB 833, the Safe Supporter School Act of 2016, which was introduced by Representative Walter Legger. So, what this bill would do is to to define a better and more transparent discipline policy and hold schools accountable to them, which will provide resources for helping school districts incorporate research-based approaches such as positive behavior interventions and support, which is also known as PBIS, and restorative justice. So, what happens with what PBIS is basically saying instead of putting the child out of the school, send them they'll designate a program or anything like that, especially restorative justice, is taking these students and cultivating these students and actually making a program that actually seeks them to get them thriving within a school. So I think it's definitely a good bill to kind of follow and keep your hands on, but also um, positive behavior support it's just saying it's just like what it says. It's just saying that okay, we're not going to suspend a child. We're going to actually um, send a child. We'll give them detention or something like that to keep the child in school. But it's basically not harsh discipline policies that's putting the child out of school and saying that hey, you got to go out of school for this X amount of days or whatnot. And my recommendation is if a child shows up with the wrong color shoes, wrong color shirts, or whatever the case may be, I think that a child should still be able to go student learning the academic day as if nothing has happened, because you should be glad that the child is even putting on the belt, because so many children are so um they love to sag nowadays. So just be grateful that they actually showed up with a belt. A belt shouldn't determine, oh, am I going to stay in school or be out of school, and especially if you get suspended 2 3 days for a belt, like that's ridiculous. And I think that's ridiculous and that's astronomical. So um they have a number of local groups that's working on this. They have the Southern Poverty Law Center, Restorative Justice Center, the Urban League. Different organizations are actually following this bill and helping, trying to get this bill passed, and different representatives, senators, and everything that's also in support of this bill. So I do think that by the end of session, which is actually going to be coming up soon, that they may have some sort of victory on this bill, because um, it's definitely a good bill, and it's actually doesn't just talk about youth of color, but it also talks about youth of white youth as well. So it doesn't exclude. This is not a program that's just that excluded to youth of color. It's just also talking about white youth, and actually how to get the youth involved and actually keep them in school instead of out of school, because 162,000 days missed in a year. Students have missed 62 students have missed many days in a year, and it's only 365 days in a year. So you have that many students that are out of school rather than in school. It's totally ridiculous. So I think that is something that's absolutely it needs to happen. I think it needs to happen. I think that's a. But I think also we need to also incorporate youth voice into the policies that's trying to be passed, because so many adults can make policy and talk about, okay, we want this bill, this is what the youth need, blah blah blah. But we actually need to get the youth engaged and involved in stuff that's going on that affect them, because it doesn't affect us, because we are adults. We're not the ones going through it. We can only talk about the accountability that we had when we were a student. However, when you have a child that is actually in the learning environment, that actually know what's happening in the learning environment, I think that is definitely more important to get that child's account of what is actually happening in schools, because you have so many schools that are pushing students out for reasons that it's just ridiculous. And I even pushing a student out, because sometimes suspensions are not as bad, but it's definitely something that it's the last measure. I will say it like that. It's just it should be something that is the last measure. Like, it shouldn't be something that we just go to because I showed up with the wrong color socks. You want me to wear black socks, but I wore white today. So you're giving me 3 days. That's ridiculous. So we have a lot to do within our school system, and especially because Louisiana is definitely the next to the last worst school system in the country right now. We definitely have to do something about that, because everybody deserves a quality education, but everybody in Louisiana doesn't get a quality education. We definitely know that. So it's something that we definitely have to talk about and be like, well, we're going to talk about and incorporate the youth, because the youth definitely need to be in on this, and they definitely need to have their voice heard, because oftentimes you go to town hall meetings and you hear more adults saying stuff than children or youth. So it's definitely something that I feel like you should definitely. This affect you. This doesn't affect. It doesn't affect me. I'm 23, so I feel like I'm not in school, but just to see students get pushed out of school, I definitely know how they feel, because um I definitely been um in in them shoes. So when we come back, I'll definitely talk about it some more, and then some urban news. So once again, you're talking to youth youth voices of the future, and this is Northern Talk Network, and we'll be back.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans, the New Orleans Talk Network.
Moments in life when we hesitate, buying a home shouldn't be one. Markets are changing and interest rates are still low. Now is the time to make your move. At Rocksteady Realty, we are determined to find a home for you. We know the area, provide personal attention, and more convenience. For all your residential and commercial needs, contact Willie Jones at Rocksteady Realty at 504-460-3819. Discover the Rocksteady difference.
Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero, always delivering the best food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's a reason why people keep returning to Wags. The food's always hot, great portions, and it's just down home good. Call ahead to order in advance at 504-348-3080. That's 504-348-3080. And let Larry know that you heard about Wags on the New Orleans Talk Network. Call him now. Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero.
Are you a big sports fan? Do you love to express your views about your favorite team, only to call the radio station and get that busy signal, or to be placed on hold for an hour? Well, here's your alternative. Join me, Bank Boris Sight, and my co-host, the People's Persons P, as the New Orleans Talk Network brings to you the all-new Fan View, where the real fans talk sports. Every Monday from 6 to 7.
Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
This program is underwritten by the Bethesda Community Development Corporation. It's our sponsors and advertisers that make this program possible. We encourage you to become a sponsor or advertiser. Go to the NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com and click the sponsor or advertiser link. Or you can give us a call at 504-348-0132. Thank you for your support.
New morning show alert. New morning show alert. The Warren Ballantyne Show airs daily from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time, bringing you the news you need to know. The Warren Ballantyne Show, now on the New Orleans Talk Network. Are you looking for an alternative to conservative? Real Brother Radio is now on New Orleans Talk Network every day, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network. We provide the topics, you provide the conversation. Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
What's up, New Orleans? Listen, this your man Fred, hosting your #1 sports talk show down here in New Orleans. Yeah, I said it. Fan View, where real fans talk about real sport. Join me, Bank Boris Sight, your people's man P, and Madman the Big Fan, as we talk about all the latest sports topics going down here around the country. Again, Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
All right. You are listening to New Orleans Talk Network. Check us out at NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call in at 504-341-8255. And check us out on YouTube at New Orleans Talk Network. Just type that in and you'll find us in a search link. You are listening to Young Voices of the Future. I'm your host, Ryan Caples. So we're going to jump into some urban news. Kind of wanted to end out my point on the Louisiana suspension rate. So I want to kind of give some recommendations on how we can actually involve you and actually how can we connect you. Um, Definitely, I think that we have many programs like Upper Bound and these different organizations that are in high schools right now that are talking to youth and actually molding youth, they're actually not educating them on policy or advocacy. I think that my guest that I had last week, Nick Aziz, I'm sorry, um definitely made a great point about Right Brain, his organization that he's doing called Right Brain. I think that it's a good program to have because a lot of our youth definitely don't know how to read or write right now. Younger youth don't know how to read or write right now, and older youth. I think that we definitely need to get another program that actually are teaching that's more policy driven and advocacy driven, so you can actually advocate for stuff that they want. If they want um better food, better nutrition, better programming, better teachers. I feel like they should definitely be involved in the policy decision making process. So that's my whole spiel. So transitioning to the urban news segment. Um, the urban news segment. I kind of wanted to first talk about the gorilla that was killed in Cincinnati. I know it was a big topic on Facebook and urban news or whatnot. So for anybody who don't know what happened, Tyler got into a gorilla cage. Actually, it actually did not harm the child, but it picked the child up or whatnot, and I think drug it for a couple feet or whatnot, but it did not harm it, and do anything um to kill it or hurt it. So many of people have different views and saying that, oh, okay, it was the parents' fault. Why does the gorilla have to be killed? And they did kill a gorilla with um a gunshot. So the gorilla is dead. It was a 17-year-old gorilla that actually just turned 17 years old, and they actually just bring it back from mating with another gorilla. So, um, and it was actually one of the extinct kind of gorillas as well. So, um, a lot of people have mixed views on this because they feel like what the parents should be held for negligent or whatnot and things like that. And actually, they do have a Facebook. Um, I think I saw it on Facebook where the parent was actually while the child was climbing, she was saying, mommy loves you, or whatnot. And I don't think that they expected the boy to fall in a cage with the gorilla. However, it's just a tragedy in itself because a gorilla has lost his life or whatever like that. Because a lot of people don't view the zoo as prison, but a zoo is a form of prison because they take these animals and put them in captivity. So it's a form of prison because they can't go anywhere. Yeah, you feed them good, you treat them nice, but they know that they're not. A lot of zoo animals know that they're not supposed to. They don't belong in a zoo. So, with that being said, um, my take on it is I think that it was some negligence to the parents, but I also can sympathize with the parent that she did release a statement saying that she turned her back for a minute, and children are active, children get into stuff, and I definitely can sympathize with that because I have a little nephew and he get into some stuff, so I definitely could sympathize with her with that. But I think that the reason why the zoo actually killed the gorillas because for one, lawful purposes, that's one. Because if something did happen to the little boy and he was severely hurt or whatnot, um, his parents can't sue on his behalf. Um, also, but also they also had they had another gorilla in that cage with him just looking. And so I don't know if that gorilla knew like if I touch that baby, they're gonna kill me. I don't know what happened to that gorilla. I don't know if they killed that one as well. But I know that they killed the 17-year-old gorilla. So I don't know what's the topic with that, but I do know that I think it's a sad situation all around because that the little boy could have been severely hurt. Um, he could have been really hurt, and the gorilla could have really that was a 450-pound gorilla, and it could have really um, injured him, if not killed him. So I think that that's one, and then also two, I think that oftentimes when you go to places with a whole bunch of kids, you kind of lose track of kids. So you definitely should have more than the one adult or something. If you have too many kids traveling with you or going to the zoo, I think that it's a good thing that to kids to go to the zoo, but also if that had been a lion's den, it could have been worse. I think that little boy would have died, um, because lions don't have hands to pick up a child. They only have claws, and they would have clawed him to death, if not ate him to death. So, I don't know, but I do know, I do feel like that they killed the gorilla strictly for lawful purposes, and just because maybe they felt like, oh, he should have been trained not to go over there or whatnot like that. But it doesn't matter. Whatever the case may be, the child he fell in there, he's unharmed. Um, and it's just a tragic situation all around because now one of the extinct gorillas have lost his life. So that's that. My next topic is gonna be, and I'm gonna just kind of run through this fast. The UCLA shooting that happened this morning. So right now they're saying that two students are dead. I don't know. I don't can't confirm or deny, but they're saying that two are dead in a UCLA student shooting on a campus. Um, the shooting happened around 10 a.m. In an engineering building. So I don't know what's going on. It seems like every year it's a different college. That's a shooting that's happening. I don't know if it's a trend. I don't know if students are just overwhelmed. But I definitely think that somehow some things need to be checked because it's like you got students that's dying that's just going to class that just want to go get their degree. And I don't think that's fair to them. And I don't think it's fair that also they a student who also because this person a shooter or shooters maybe a student on campus. It's not fair to them to actually take a life of either a teacher or a student. They're just going to do what they got to do, regardless of if they did you something or if they didn't do you something or if you just overwhelmed, you can't take the course load or whatnot. It's just one of those things that is a sad situation. But every year it's a different school, and every year you hear about a suicide killing at these schools, and it really makes you wonder what is happening on these campuses, on these different campuses that's making the students do that. So my prayers go out to the families at UCLA and especially with the UCLA family because I definitely don't want that kind of stuff to happen, especially on campus. You definitely get, you don't go to college for that. Just you go to college to get your education. You're not going up there to actually kill nobody. So I just think that's ridiculous. Next is the Kim Kardashian and Rob Kardashian reality show. So apparently they have been greenlit to do um a reality show. I am not uh particularly gonna watch the show. I'm kind of sick of the Kardashians. They do too much. So I won't watch the show, but I think that a lot of people want to watch simply because of the whole Black China and Kardashian clash and that whole thing. But I mean, I'm not gonna watch that show because I don't care. So I won't be watching. More power to them, but I won't be watching at all. So it's one of those things that you just have to be like, okay, this is not one of those things that you just want to watch. I mean, reality TV is getting way out of hand. If you ask me, it's getting totally out of hand. It's it's almost fake. I mean, to me, it's fake because I mean, if I don't like somebody, I'm not gonna be in the presence of them. That's just how I feel. But I feel like they always say, "Oh, they put you in certain situations." Well, I'm not gonna be put in reality. I won't be put in certain situations. So they may need to change it to certain situations TV instead of reality TV because I'm not about to watch something where people they always want to fight and then over something stupid. Half the time they don't have no reason to be fighting. They called you this or they called you that. You gotta get over yourself. That ain't the first time somebody called you anything or called you a name. So I won't be watching. The next thing is uh the real. So Tamar, it's been confirmed that Tamar is leaving a rail. Some people say she was fired, but they released a statement saying that she'll be focusing on her solo career right now versus being on the show. So she actually posted a post saying that she was betrayed and stabbed in the back by somebody she trusted. So we don't know. I don't know. So I don't know if she was stabbed in the back. I don't know what it is, but rumor has it that Kiki Watts is supposed to be her replacement. I honestly like Kiki Watts, so I think that might be a good replacement. However, I still want to hear the reason why Tamar won't be on the show or whatnot because I don't even watch the real, but from the looks of it, they always acting like, oh, we sisters, they tight, this and that, and I always knew it wasn't that tight because Tamara is totally different from them girls. She's not with that drama. Tamar too outspoken, Lonnie too outspoken. Uh, I don't even know the other two names, but I never even heard of them. So, so it's like, but I know they passed it and crossed. Other than Tamara might know one of the other girls, so I think they both was on Disney Channel together. But other than that, I don't think that they really know too much about each other because it's like, how could y'all come from two different worlds, but they making jail because opposites do attract, but I don't think that it was as buddy and goody as they were saying because I mean obviously Timo had unfollowed all them except for Tamara, so I was like, yeah, I knew. So, but I think Kiki Watts will be a good addition. I think that she funny like Timo. I'll say that. But I think Kiki Watts more relatable, and she can sing. Kiki Watts can sing, so I think she might be a good addition to um add to the show, especially because I don't think that they filming R&B divas anymore. So I think that's definitely a good show to I think it's good that she gonna be on that show. So we'll see. Uh, the next thing I want to kind of talk about is this OKC and the Warriors game 7. Now, last week I was on air and I was telling Andre that the Warriors was gonna win, and there was 3-1 that day. The Warriors was down 3-1. Now I'm not a real sports fanatic, but I know what I'm talking about when I say the Warriors gonna take it home. So I'm not a Warriors fan, but I had a feeling that I had a feeling I was like, if OKC don't win the next game and they be 4-1, it's over for them. And what happened? They're at home now, so it's like you can't get mad because I said this on air. I should have put some money. I should have bet it because I would have won. But now I'm gonna make my predictions for the championship, and I do think I honestly would like LeBron James to win and the Cavaliers to win, but I do think that OKC for some reason I feel like every time they play OKC, um, it, it's not gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. I would like for them to win. So I mean, I think that they're gonna definitely be. I think that the Warriors may win a championship again. But I feel like I want LeBron James to win. So that's I'm gonna put it like that. So I think the Warriors will win, but I want LeBron James to win. So that's just how that's gonna go. So we'll see. The game will be this Thursday. Hopefully, um, hopefully we'll be able to see uh LeBron James dominate the court. I mean, but LeBron James always do what he needs to do, and it's simply like you have to have backup, and his team sometimes don't back him up. So it's always hard when you have people that don't back you up. So it's crazy. Uh, so also I want to talk about this Lil Wayne and Birdman beef right now. I'm not too happy about because I'm a fan of Lil Wayne. So I mean, especially I mean I respect Birdman because he's a businessman. But I just think that Birdman needs to pay his artists. That's just the ball down. That's the truth. He just needs to simply pay his artists. because I mean, honestly, he need to release Lil Wayne album because we've been waiting for some music, and it's been long overdue for Wayne to have some music out, like for real. And the fact that Wayne is taking him so long, um, it's taking him so long to actually, have an album is ridiculous to me. That Birdman need to stop holding on to his album, release his album if the album done, because the album is done from what I heard. And the fact that his last little mixtape he had to release, we all know Wayne mixtapes to be cold. He had to release that for free on SoundCloud. So I'm like, he ain't making no profit off his money. I mean, off his songs. So it's like, how in the world you expect this man to be okay with what you're doing, but you're not paying him. You gotta pay this man. And so I mean, and then you got Young Thug running around looking stupid, who he not even a contender to me to even be Wayne. Like to be even Wayne J. Off. So I'm just like, how in the world you sitting up here putting music out from Young Thug? Like just Young Thug. Just the name alone is just upsetting. So I I think that he definitely need to take a look in the mirror and actually get a chance to actually be like, listen, hey, this is what needs to happen because Wayne is his moneymaker. All right, we about to go to break. We about to wrap it up or what? Break. All right, so we're going to break this New Orleans Talk Network and Young Voices of the You. I'll be back with more hot topics.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Pastor Don Laura Jones, and you're listening to the New Orleans Talk Network.
Oh my God, I am so excited for the New Orleans Talk Network. Well, hey, I'm telling you, this is the real show that people will have a voice. I'm excited about this show, Gerard. You just don't know. I'm so glad you got it going. And people, I'm going to tell every single person I know about it. So your show is going to be one of the hottest show in the whole state of Louisiana.
Do your homework, you do your investigation. Like I said, with you, it's a balance. Like I said, you made us cry, you made us get out and fight, you made us get out and march. You made us laugh. And that's what we need. We need total balance in all things. And like I said, I wish you the best.
I'm so excited about you going back on the show. I tell you, because I really missed you. I really have. You're such a blessing to our community and keeping us informed of all the things that are going on in our community. And I appreciate you so much, G. And I just had to call you this morning. I'm going to be right there, and I'm going to tell everybody about your show, the new show. That's right. We're looking for new things, and I know it's coming.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Crown Properties Incorporated, development and property management specialists, specializing in commercial and residential properties. With over 20 years experience, we specialize in property management, tenant placement, rent collection. We also manage single group housing. We have a full-time maintenance staff, 24-hour emergency on-call services, and we're fully licensed and insured. Let us do all the work while you receive the monthly checks at Crown Properties Incorporated. For more information, call 504-366-4001. That number again is 504-366-4001. Or come visit us at 405 Gretna Boulevard, Suite 109, Gretna, Louisiana. Crown Properties Incorporated. For all your property management needs. You be the investor, we'll be the landlord. Crown Properties Incorporated.
Hi, my name is Remus Bowman, and we are here to discuss you and your credit. This would be an informative hour discussing your credit options and how you can achieve a good credit rating in just a matter of 3 to 6 months, and the removal of bad or incorrect information. Again, my name is Remus Bowman.
Crown Properties Incorporated.
Hi, my name is Remus Bowman, and we are here to discuss you and your credit. This would be an informative hour discussing your credit options and how you can achieve a good credit rating in just a matter of 3 to 6 months, and the removal of bad or incorrect information. Again, my name is Remus Bowman, your good credit advisor. Join me every Monday on New Orleans Talk Network.
There are moments in life when we hesitate. Buying a home shouldn't be one. Markets are changing and interest rates are still low. Now is the time to make your move. At Rocksteady Realty, we are determined to find a home for you. We know the area, provide personal attention, and more convenience. For all your residential and commercial needs, contact Willie Jones at Rocksteady Realty at 504-460-3819. Discover the Rocksteady difference.
Listening to Young Voices of the
Nobody
Future
gives you
on
better
New Orleans Talk
conversation
Network.
about your
Call us
quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen
The
to
New Orleans,
414-8255.
New Orleans.
the
This
New
is
Orleans
Young
Talk
Voices of the
Network.
Future on New Orleans Talk Network. Check us out on YouTube at New Orleans Talk Network, and check us out on Facebook at New Orleans Talk Network, and follow us on Twitter as well at New Orleans Talk Network. Call in at 504-341-8255. That's 504-341-8255. Um, so the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about was um, on the graduation rate for Black students in college. So recently we have been having a ton of this year we had a ton of Black graduates to come out of college for the class of 2016. However, reports have came out and said that out of maybe that percentage of thousands of graduates for the class of 2016 with college degrees, only 16% of them was offered a job. So now it's becoming to where you have a lot of baby boomers. So the issue is right now is that we still have baby boomers that are still working. So people that are 50, 60, 70 years old, because the economy is so bad, they still are in their position right now. And we have people like us, young 20s, that's coming out of school, fresh face, that's trying to move into the workforce, but actually having a hard time moving into the workforce simply because you can't move into the workforce because there's no jobs. Out of that 16%, most of that 16% was nursing and business students. So um, that's no surprise though. Um, Simply because nursing is they need nurses all the time, and then definitely because business is one of the most popular kind of majors, and then that's one also have a high turnover rate. So it's definitely it makes sense that okay we're gonna have business students. So I don't know what's gonna happen because and then it's only gonna get worse. I mean this number that's out right now, 16%, it's gonna go lower to 11% probably because you're gonna have twice as many graduates next year, and twice as many graduates as in the year after that, simply because our population is growing and people are having more children. So definitely, I think that okay, it's definitely gonna happen because I feel like as but it's also important that people don't waste their time because you have people that's coming out of college that have $100,000. They're $100,000 in debt, in school loan debt. So it's like they if they don't have a way to pay that, how exactly they gonna get by? So um, I think it's definitely an issue, but I think that a lot of I'll give this to my young people is definitely to create your own. You definitely want to be able to create your own. If somebody's not giving you an opportunity, create your own opportunity. I mean, that's just how it's gonna have to be. Don't sit around and wait for somebody to give you an opportunity because they're not giving no handouts now. So the next thing I kind of want to talk about was the um the Roots review. So the Roots they actually did a remake of the Roots, a Roots review, and Snoop Dogg did his review. He gave his comments on it, basically saying they keep giving us these roles. They won't let us live this down. Um, saying that how we expect to move forward as a culture if we don't move forward and blah blah blah. I definitely agree with him to an extent because they do. We see the story all the time about a slave, in the the late 1800s or things like that when black people used to get beat and things like that. And black Hollywood is definitely hard for a person of color, and particularly black, to get some of them roles that's in white Hollywood. So um, I definitely don't. I agree to him to an extent that we definitely need to move from that narrative to actually doing some more different types of roles. But the roles are not out there. I don't think they're making any movies that's out there that that can incorporate a black person. Like we don't have those. Black people are not getting those roles. So I definitely, but I do think that it's good to have a history lesson also. So I think that's the plus of the series, but I think that it's also one of those the negative downtimes that it's just another one of those things to keep black people employed, which is good, but it's also one of those things that to say like, to showcase the world to say, okay, this is what had happened or whatnot. So I mean, I'm kind of wishy-washy with it. I agree to him with agree with him to some extent, but I think that definitely what needs to happen is that they need to actually make some roles for black people, or not even for black people, because they have roles that can actually have a black person in there, but they just don't hire a black person. So it's kind of hard to incorporate a black person, and then um, but that's why my head always go off to Shonda Rhimes because she creates sitcoms like How to Get Away from Murder, Grey's Anatomy, and Scandal that incorporate powerful black people, and they're always at the forefront, and they always end up being the main character. So she definitely employs black people, such as and also Lee Daniels employ black people, Tyler Perry employs black people. So I think that's definitely a good look for them. But I think that that's only a few. And we need to ask white directors to actually incorporate black people because they have these lens. They want to tell a black story, but don't have the lens to actually know what's going on. They actually it's a lie. They actually don't know what is actually happening. They just want to tell a story, and just like how Roots is happening, it's basically Snoop Dogg. One of his arguments was that they always benefiting off of black people and black culture, and that's why he didn't want the remake of Roots being made or whatnot. And so I don't want white people benefiting off of what is our culture, but however, I think that actors and actresses are not thinking about black culture when they gotta pay their rent or they gotta pay their mortgage or they gotta pay car notes, insurance or whatnot. They have to do what they have to do, and so they, I think that that's what they think about. So I'm like, okay, I get it. That's why some of these people took these roles because he was questioning why some of the people took their roles, and I'm like, some of these people need work. They have to do work because being an actor or actress it's not every day. You're not on a job every day. So it's like, okay, so you're not on a job every day. You gotta when you get a role, you get this X amount of money, but you gotta make that money last because you don't know when your next role is. Especially if you're black, because it's harder for somebody of color if you don't have if you're not the Viola Davis. Viola Davis once she's kind of in her mode and doing what she's doing now, she's getting roles and stuff like that. Now she's getting her choice of roles, which I think is amazing. Same thing with Taraji P. Henson. I'm thinking like now she's getting her roles. But these people have to be employed by somebody that's black and actually to showcase their talent because people before they wasn't showcasing them. They didn't say they wasn't calling Taraji. They wasn't hitting them up as much as as they are now. So but that's my show for today. This is New Orleans Talk Network, and you were listening to Young Voices of the Future. I'm gonna be here next week at 6, same time, Wednesday. So be sure to check us out at NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com and call in 504-341-8255. And check us out on Facebook at New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, once again, Brandon Caples, and I'm out.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Wax Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero. Always delivering the best food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's a reason why people keep returning to Wags. The food's always hot, great portions,